Good evening and welcome back to the Hood Table one more again. Please make sure you like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the Hood Table if you will for me, please, and thank you. It is your girl Tanya back at you with another The Hood Table podcast. And of course, we are still covering the R. Kelly trial and doing our own commentary, giving our own opinions on everything that we are learning throughout the trial. And today was day three. It is August 20th, 2021, day three of the R. Kelly sex trafficking trial. And today, one of R. Kelly's ex employees, Anthony Navarro, was called upon to testify. Now, Navarro was asked to describe how it was working for the star in his home and in his recording studio because Navarro was around most of the time when females were constantly coming and going to and fro, from R. Kelly's mansion and his studio. Navarro, a former assistant of R. Kelly, whose legal name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, said today that working for his former employee at his mansion was almost like being in a twilight zone, which oftentimes made him feel very uncomfortable. Anthony Navarro, who is now 36 years old, had worked for Kelly for approximately 2 to 2.5 years, ending in the year of 2019. And among other responsibilities, Navarro testified that one of his assignments was to pick up girls and deliver them to R. Kelly. He also still works in the music industry and claims that out of all the artists he has ever worked for, including celebrities like Taylor Swift and Kanye West, he's never experienced an environment quite like Kelly's. During his testimony, he recounted how he has never or was never allowed to speak to any of R. Kelly's girls who visited the mansion. Also, that no one besides R. Kelly was allowed in any of the rooms that the girls were escorted to, unless, of course, if permitted by Kelly. And once the girls were no longer in the rooms, then Navarro would make sure others knew that the girls were no longer occupying a particular room. While on the stand, Navarro spoke about how very uncomfortable it was to work for R. Kelly. A lot of things that he was instructed to do or not to do didn't quite sit well with him, so it seems. He claims that everyone, not just the girls, but everyone had to have permission to do anything in the house. Even if you were there for business and was invited to the mansion, you couldn't even leave the house or order something to eat without Kelly's permission. But then he goes on to say that the music and production part of working with the artist was all good. And so was the pay. I'm quite sure. I'm just saying. The pay had to be very good. Wouldn't you agree? For like R. Kelly's entire staff to say or do absolutely nothing about any of the allegations being said about the singer over the years, the pay must have been handsomely nice, especially if, like Navarro said, working for R. Kelly was like being in the twilight zone. And although at one time on the stand, Navarro did state how once R. Kelly had actually fined him for breaking a trivial rule and withheld his paycheck that week. So that there lets us know that not only did the accusers or victims get punished for breaking any of Kelly's rules, but even his staff's pay will be docked if they disobeyed his rules, or what Navarro would like to call as Bob's rules. Navarro also testified about seeing cameras set up on tripods inside Kelly's bedroom and how he had to get Kelly's permission to even give the girls food when they were hungry or take them anywhere when they wanted to go anywhere. He said none of the girls he drove around appeared to be underage. And why do I find that hard to believe? I find that actually unbelievable. But I'm neither the jury nor the judge in this case. I'm only giving my opinions and commentary on the trial. He also told the jury he often picked up Kelly's herpes medication, an STD many of the women have come forward claiming that Kelly had, unbeknownst, given them without their knowledge. And we did hear the other day how R. Kelly's doctor of 25 years stated that he had provided R. Kelly with so much herpes treatment and medication over the years that he had memorized the doggone pharmacy phone number. So all those allegations, all those rumors that's been swirling around for years about R. Kelly having herpes and giving it to people without their knowledge is actually true. Very true. Now, moving right along. On day 3 of the trial, the court also heard about R. Kelly's illegal marriage to the singer Aaliyah. R. Kelly's defense lawyers remained quiet on the third day of the singer's federal sex trafficking trial. Today, former assistant Anthony Navarro, who testified that, it was like being in a twilight zone at that house in the mansion in the studio, they had a lot of, questions for him and, asking him about, what he experienced, what he saw, what he didn't see. But when it came to them talking about Aaliyah, they was hush. They was hush, but can we be surprised? Should we be shocked? Of course not. We shouldn't be shocked because we had all heard, well, most of us then heard how Aaliyah's family allegedly were paid off back then. So I'm not surprised that his attorneys had nothing to say when it came to Miss Beautiful Aaliyah because of the years of rumors regarding R. Kelly paying off her parents and an NDA agreement. So I just think R. Kelly don't want any smoke from her parents, and that's probably why they kept quiet. Like, more as any thoughts on the trial so far? We're not allowed to talk about it, defense attorney Nicole Blankbecker stated. They was totally hushed, totally quiet when it came to the Leah situation today. But the Cook County Clerk Carolyn Harris testified about the 1994 marriage between Kelly and the young Aaliyah. Harris testified that Kelly and Aaliyah used a Department of Public Aid ID showing Aaliyah was 18 to obtain a marriage license. This happened when in fact Aaliyah was only 15 years old at the time. And by the way, that ID is not a legal method of obtaining a marriage license in the state of Illinois. Among many other charges, Kelly is also being accused of bribing a city official with $500 to provide a fake ID for the then 15-year-old Aaliyah. Kelly's former manager, Demetrius Smith, he told the jury that once upon a time, R. Kelly secretly relayed to him that Aaliyah was pregnant with his child, a rumor that we have heard throughout the decades. Smith also tried to get out of testifying against his former boss. He even went so far as to attempt to plead the fifth, but unfortunately for him, another judge had already ordered him to testify with the promise of immunity in this particular case. So what you worried about, Smith? They had already granted you immunity. So for goodness sake, just spill the tea. Just spill the tea. Mm-mm-mm. Anywho, Kelly, 54, has denied the accusations, and his lawyers have been portraying him as a victim. He is the victim of women who targeted him after the emergence of the Me Too, the hashtag Me Too movement, brought a new look on the relationship between celebrities out there and the fans who love them. And that's one of the things that I detest about his defense team. They are using the hashtag Me Too movement to explain away or justify why his accusers are coming at his throat. Those women whose stories received worldwide exposure on the Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly and many others before the movement spoke up years ago. But how was that handled? Allegedly, some of them was paid off. Allegedly, some of them was abused. Allegedly, some of them was forced to have abortions. hmm even even the as far as when it comes to Aaliyah, her being married to him, that was basically to keep her quiet, to silence her. So you know how it goes, a wife can't speak up against the husband when it comes to court and things like that. That was one of the main reasons why he married her, not because of the fact that she was allegedly pregnant, because obviously she wasn't pregnant for that much longer, right? There was never a baby, allegedly. Allegedly. But thank God for Lifetime for bringing, to light what we all knew, what we all have been thinking over the years, which was how an entourage of supporters protected Kelly and helped him silence his victims for decades before the federal racketeering conspiracy case that got Kelly locked up once again in 2019. And that is all I have today for you guys. My commentary and opinions on day 3 of the R. Kelly sex trafficking trial. Again, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the Hood Table if you're not already subscribed. Make sure you also follow us on our backup, the Hood Table channel, which is called the Hood Table 402. And we're on Twitter, Facebook, IG, Snapchat, and TikTok. Yeah, I think that's all of the platforms that we're on. And on that note, everybody, have a great weekend. It is Friday. We are going live in about another hour or so for our Friday night live show. And that'd be lit every Friday night live. No topics off limit, no holds barred show. 9 p.m. Central Time every Friday. So I will be back in a little bit, but in the meantime, in the between time, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always, always, always remember to keep it hood. Bye.